putt ever hit.
He about missed the ball on the putt.
You almost missed. Did you see it? You almost missed the ball.
You did. You hit the top of the ball.
I thought it hit the bump right in front.
No, I think you hit the top of the ball.
Oh no, it hit the divot. No, it hit
You
the divot.
You hit tops, but you hit tops.
We were
We'll have
walking.
video proof of that one.
Oh, I thought it hit my divot. Because it went right over my divot.
No, I think that you hit the top of the ball.
No, I didn't hit the top of the ball.
Inside right?
It hit my divot.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it hit the top of the ball.
I think it did.
So, couple things. One, when you set up there, your arms are long, but your right arm was really long, okay, in the setup. So you kind of, get a little tall like this, and then we have this kind of this look where your arms are kind of really just kind of long and tight right there. So I would really like for you to shorten your arms, so we'll just get you to hold that club up in the air. And if you look at that grip, it's really kind of designed, pistol grip is kind of made to kind of be in the palm of the hand, kind of the lifelines like that. Thumbs on top. And then that shaft runs right down my forearm. So that makes one line there. And then I just grip and I form a dead straight line with my elbows all the way to the putter head. Soften those arms a little bit, rotate or just bend forward at the chest. I feel like instead of my elbows being out, I want to rotate those in a little bit to soften them so I can kind of pick that putter up. So now in that position of setup there, I've got good soft forearms. Now it's just a matter of, just move the putter. And depending on how you putt, we haven't got that far yet, but really you're in a situation there where you kind of have just this soft, athletic feel to make a stroke. Let's see.
Gotcha. Okay. So you're saying we start here.
Yeah. Just hold it up in the air. Create this nice straight line.
Yep.
All the way to the putter head. That's right. And then you got a nice soft line there. Now just rotate them in a little bit and bend at the waist. Yeah. Soft arms there. So when I lift this putter up and down, I can feel that tension free in the elbows there. A lot of people talk about holding the grip light. Really, what we're trying to say there is get tension out of the arms.
Okay.
That grip pressure is really not as important. It's important to maintain it throughout the stroke, but it doesn't matter if you start with a 5 or an 8, on a scale of 1 to 10.
Just keep it the same.
Keep it the same. Yeah.
Okay.
Soft arms. It's much better right there. Yeah. I like that setup right there.
And you're saying the issue, you don't want to go there.
Yeah, see, you were a little tall, a little
Like that,
long,
yeah.
and then a little firm right here in
Yeah.
the elbow right there.
What about I always hear toe to toe. Toe to toe, toe to toe. Do you?
So here's the thing is every putt, so if we can keep the same tempo, very important, okay? We would change the length of swing for the length of the putt. And that backswing and follow through will somewhat match for the most part. So we would have symmetry there, but it's not always going to be the same for every length putt. So we would have like, okay, we got a 3-footer, we got a backswing kind of looks like that. We've got a 8-footer, something like that, as far as the swing goes, and then maybe a 20-footer, something like that. So the length of swing grows, but as far as the balance is kind of the same on both sides.
Gotcha. Okay.
And little misconceptions too, as I know you've heard these, is accelerate through, okay? Let's also tie on that same theme of the same length swing back and through, let's keep the speed pretty constant back and through.
Okay.
No acceleration changes.
So my visual is straight line here.
Yeah.
Here. Then the arms come in.
Yeah. Very good.
Do you feel like it's more right or left hand dominant?
It's player dependent. Player dependent. More falling with left hand control than right hand control, but I'll be honest with you.
Everybody's different.
Everybody's different.
Mhm.
And quite frankly, I think that you'll determine that if you practice the right way, you'll figure that part out on your own very easily. I'll guide you there, but again, I wouldn't even like start and say I want you to do it this way,
Right.
because if we do that, we're gonna possibly rob some talents that are in there.
Yeah.
You know, we might take away from the fact that, man, you could be a really great left-hand putter, really great right-hand putter.
Right. Okay.
If that makes sense. All of my players that are really good putters have two things in common. They're great greens readers, and they practice properly.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
So walk me through. Yeah, that's one question I had. What is a good, knowing that I don't have 12 hours, a week to spend on putting.
Mm-hmm.
What does a good practice session look like if I'm going to go out and putt?
3 parts. So, if you had, let's break this, let's call it a 10-minute putting practice.
Uh-huh.
I think that would be effective.
Yeah.
For someone, if you could commit to a 10-minute putting practice, and you could do that 5 days a week,
Mhm.
I think that's fair.
Mhm.
If it turns to 15 or 20, that'd be great, but keep it in kind of 1/3 buckets.
Mm-hmm.
So do some start line and stroke work. As far as like, when I say start line stroke work, I'm talking about like this chalk line,
Uh-huh.
something like that. Having a putting mirror, using my training aid, the golf aligner.
Uh-huh.
You just line this thing up at the target. Just point it there, set the ball there, and now all of a sudden you have a template for what a square club face looks like.
Right.
So we set that putter down, and now it's just a matter of getting that ball to stay on that line and
Yeah.
roll down the line. Okay, and so you could create a gate. So built in with this training aid is this distance, that width right there forms a nice start line gate for an amateur player.
Right. Just put some T's on the edge of those.
You just put some T's on the edge, you move the arrow up in there, put some T's
Mhm.
there, and just get the ball rolling through that gate.
Love it.
Do that for 30 times, and you'll be surprised just seeing what a square club face to the grip looks like, coming to the back of the arrow there, seeing how we would set up properly, and then understanding how we see the target in our posture, how we rotate our eyes to see where the face is pointed. Super important, okay? Do that a third of the time. Your next third that you're gonna have would be doing all your cleanup putts, doing some type of a star drill where you would do, I call it 3, 4, 5s.
Uh-huh.
Go to 3 holes, put down 6 putts, 2 3-footers, 2 4s, 2 5s.
Okay.
And then you would just make those, and you're going to try, basically that's 18 putts, you're trying to make 15 of those.
Okay.
That's a goal. Challenge yourself to do that.
Yeah.
So you can go from the cleanup putts, go into some putts that have a little more touch and feel, those birdie putts, kind of that 8 to 15 feet range.
Right.
And do those and just really work on your read and your speed. You can tie that together. You just take this little arrow, go out, and then you identify your aim point.
Uh-huh.
Point the arrow where you want to aim,
Uh-huh.
and then when you place a ball down there, it's kind of like having a perfect putter in the fact that you would then have that lined up perfectly. Then you would roll a putt and then figure out, okay, that was an underread or an overread.
Right.
So you would chart that, so you come up with a quick little, like 10 or 12 putts per practice where you're checking your read.
Mhm.
And then just journal that, identify, okay, I'm underreading 80% of my putts.
Yeah.
Now you have a theme.
Right.
Now all of a sudden you start to figure out, well, especially on left and right putts, I'm underreading those. So
Yeah.
now I'm going to start adjusting a little bit more break. And as you go, you're going to see how putts should react
Right.
by doing that. And then just, when I said thirds, that leaves 10%. So quick little bomb drill, a 6-putt drill, 20 to 50 feet. So to leave the putting green, okay, you got to get 6 in a row that finish within 10% of the length of the putt.
Oh, okay.
20 to 50 feet.
Yeah.
So now you haven't like gotten hung up on your putting stroke. You haven't got hung up on anything. You've got a good diverse practice
Right.
that you should be able to do in 10, 12 minutes
I love that. Yeah.
and get home.
Okay.
All right.
Love it.
Awesome.